So whose food is it? The birds. So this is a singular. This is what we do when we have any singular noun. So when it's one of something. So this is the same if you have a dog, cat, person. So what if I have, okay, the food of the birds. I'm talking about more than one bird. This is like 5 birds. Vita, what do I do now? The food of the birds.
You put the bird's food, but instead of the apostrophe being between the S and the D, you put it behind, after the S.
Okay, so I would write, you said, I'd write the bird's food again.
Mm-hmm.
And where do I put the apostrophe this time?
After the S.
I put it there. So when you see anything singular, what do we add to it? When I have a singular and I'm making it possessive. Apostrophe S. If I have a plural noun, what do I do? What do I add? And where do I add the apostrophe? Jalen, you know? Well, this is for plural. That's what you would do for singular. What do I do for plural, Patrick?
Since it's already plural without apostrophe, you put it behind the S.
So I just tack it on the back of the S. Looks a little strange, right? If you look at it really fast, we just have the apostrophe in there. It looks strange, but that's how it's supposed to be. So, there's a couple, these are probably more creative than I can think of that I wanted to go through. So, they have different sentences here. We're going to figure out where we need to put the comma. Do we need to change it around? So I have hobbies of the student. Hobbies of the student. That would be funny if we all talked like that. How could I change this? How could I change this, Jalen?
You do the student's hobbies, and then you put the comma.
Comma. Close.
No, the apostrophe. The apostrophe, yeah. The apostrophe. And after the hobbies, or you put it in between the T, and then you add an S to student.
Do I need an apostrophe on hobbies? Who can repeat what Jalen said? I know what he was saying. I got what you were saying. Who can repeat what he said? I want to see if you guys understood what he said. Vita.
Wait, do you want the correction or what?
What would you, well, what was he explaining? How would you correct it? He was explaining it correctly. I just wanted to see.
You put you do the hobby, the student's hobby, and you put apostrophe as after student.
Perfect. That's what I knew what you were explaining. I just wanted to see if everyone else heard you and could repeat it in their own words. So we would say the student's hobbies, but we would add the apostrophe S. What if I added the S with the apostrophe after it? Would that change the whole meaning of the sentence?
Yes.
What would change in that, Julia?
That means it will be more than one person and even like a lot of students.
So you can see how an apostrophe can change the whole meaning of something. Do you remember we were talking about the commas earlier with that book? And how if you put a comma in the wrong place, it can change the whole meaning of a sentence?
Yeah.
So that's the same idea with the apostrophe. If you put an apostrophe in the wrong place, that could change the whole thing you're trying to say. We could be we're talking about one student here, but if I put the apostrophe in the wrong place, you're going to think I'm talking about more than one student. That's not what I want. I want to talk about one student. What about this one? The hat of Ashley. The hat of Ashley. Molly.
Ashley's hat.
Perfect. Ashley's hat. But where do I put the apostrophe? Who can help Molly out? Timothy, can you help Molly out?
At the end of the Y and add it.
So I'd put apostrophe S after Ashley. So I would say Ashley's hat. Very good. What about the window of the house? The window of the house. Sabrina.
The house is window.
Perfect. The house is window. But how would you punctuate that? So we added an S after houses.
With the comma between the S and
comma?
Yeah, and comma.
The apostrophe?
The comma between the E and S.
So we put the apostrophe after the E, and then we add an S. Very good. I know we get confused. I used to get confused, comma and apostrophe. I knew what they looked like, but the word sometimes failed me. So comma, little thing at the bottom, apostrophe goes up high.
I used to call apostrophe a flying comma.
I like that. That's a good way to think about it, the flying comma. Okay, so your apostrophe is the flying comma. So this one's a little different. We were just working with singular ones. This one looks plural to me. The bicycles of the boys. The bicycles of the boys. Jojo.
The boy's bicycle.
Sounds good to me.
Boy's bicycle.
The boys' bicycles. And what do we have to add on to the boys?
An apostrophe.
Where do we add it?
Between, after the S.
After the S. So you really need to pay attention to this. Because sometimes you're looking really fast and you put it at the end. I was saying this yesterday when I was walking around. There was a little confusion on where to put the apostrophe. Sometimes. Right? What about the dresses of the women? Now this is a little weird because women is plural. So what would I put, Corbin?
The woman's dress.
We still want women. We don't want to change it to woman. Emily. Beta.
The woman's dress.
Woman's.
The woman.
Women's.
The women's dress.
And where would you add the apostrophe?
After the after the M.
Perfect. So this is a little confusing. It doesn't have an S at the end of it. Even though it's a plural, we're still going to add apostrophe S. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you see something like women or men, you're going to tack the apostrophe S after it. Okay, let's do a couple more, and then we're going to try doing this with Sage and Scribe. See if you guys can come up and do it. What about the nose of the deer?
What's
The nose. I know, very creative. I didn't think of this one. The nose of the deer. Tyler. Correct. The deer's nose. So where would you add the S and the apostrophe?
You add the apostrophe right after the R, and you put apostrophe after the E.
What do you?
What? The deer's.
Wait, you want to try again? So where am I adding? I have deer, and you said the deers. That was right. So you added the S to it. Where are you putting the apostrophe? After the R or after the S?
S. I mean R.
Perfect. You had it. Tyler, I'm with you. All right, one more. The choices of the jurors. Ooh, this one's very sophisticated. The choices of the jurors. No, I know. I just mean the sentences.
Oh.
Patrick.
Jurors' choices.
The jurors' choices. Where am I adding the apostrophe? Do we have one juror? We have two jurors?
Between R and S.
Are you sure? We're starting with jurors.
Behind the S.
Behind the S. Okay, so you have to look out for that. That's the most common mistake. Now, I have a couple, and I'm going to have one person come up and be the writer, so the scribe, and I'm going to have one person be the sage. So who's the sage again? What do you do if you're the sage?
You talk. Right.
You find the sage out, right? I talk. If I'm the scribe, what am I doing? And if you're the scribe, do you say anything?
No.
Even if they're wrong?
No.
You respect their answer, and then we'll deal with it later? Okay, so the first one, I'll call on you in a second. I'm pulling sticks, because I just can't choose them. Sorry, I can't. Beta, can you be the sage? And Andy, can you be the scribe? Can't choose between you. I'm just going to make this fair. So you're the one talking. You're going to tell them how to make this sentence possessive. Oh, you have a marker.
Right, the man's